Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I am working with some stuff from my trip to Philly. I have this map from Eastern State Penitentiary and I want to keep it intact because it has a great map, great map on the inside where you can see all the different cell blocks and how you move around in there for the tour and how things were laid out when they actually had prisoners there. And then there's just some interesting things here in the breakdown for the audio tour that you can do. So it helps you kind of gauge where do you want to go, maybe what parts do you want to skip, that sort of thing. So I would like that to be fully accessible. So my plan is leave this as is, but to use the back to add a picture and add the receipt. That means I have to cover up at least part of this. And then I also want to add tabs to it so that it lives outside of page protector and it can just flip in the album. I've already done that with several other things, and I want to do that with this one too, because my only other option really is to put it in a full 6x12 page protector. And look at that, that's a lot of wasted space. Plus it adds bulk by adding another page protector. So it's going to live outside of there on its own, and we'll just see what I can do with it. I have taken out 2 of the tabs. I bought a whole bin of these tags here, or a whole package of them, before I started a couple of projects that I have, because I knew I'd want to start incorporating things like this. And apparently finding white tags is really hard. I found some, but they were insanely expensive. And so I thought, well, you know, cream or the manila color isn't too far off. It matches really well with this actually. And I've been able to make it work so far, though if anybody has a source for finding white office tags like this that aren't insanely expensive, please let me know, because I would appreciate that information. But for now, these I'll cut off the strings obviously, and then they'll be placed like this. I will use the holes on this 6x12 page protector to inform where I'm going to put these. And then they will be hidden under some paper because I am going to cover up part of this, probably not all, but part of it with some cardstock, pattern paper, something. All right, I already have the first part done. I used the innermost holes here. These were too far. If I had tried to put them there, that would be tough to turn it like that. So I've used the innermost holes here to form where I want those to go, and I've adhered them, so that is set. I also put them into the album quickly just to make sure it would turn easily the way I want, and it does, so that's good. So now I have to figure out, how do I want to cover up this back portion? And I do have an idea, kind of, here at the start. I'm thinking I want the address to show at the bottom, so I can cover up here, and then I can use the receipt. I may cut off part of this, but I can use that up here. I may also keep this, just because it's kind of cool to see that there, and then cover up sort of, you know, what's in between. So not a lot of it will show through, but I need something that's going to match with this photo. When looking at this photo, I decided to see if I could find a green background, because there is green in the grass here in this painting or picture, and then trees in there. And so I thought, okay, well, that should be pretty easy to find. I have lots of green scraps, so I have pulled out those. I will look through those first because I don't want to cut into anything new if I don't have to. But if I don't find what I need in there, I have plenty of 6x8 and 6x12 papers, so I'll go to those next. Okay, I found a piece of paper I want to use, but it's not what I thought I would find. First of all, it's 6x6, and it's a different green, and it's a much bolder pattern than I anticipated, but I like it. I think it brings some nice color into it. However, because it's 6x6, it's not going to fit lengthwise, so I'll have to get a little creative. I think what I'm going to do is position it up here. It doesn't really matter that this part isn't covered because the photo can cover that. So if I go like this, no one will know that the paper doesn't go all the way down, which is fine. Luckily, this is 4 inches wide, and so is this brochure. So it is sized perfectly. I don't even really have to do anything with that, which is awesome. And it still leaves me plenty of room to have the receipt up there. And I think I will cut it down a little bit because then it'll give me more room to do a little embellishing, which I think would be fun here. So I have adhered down all of this. I decided to leave this part open as well because it has the website for their event. So if anybody looking at this is interested because they're going to go to Philly or something and visit it, it's there. They can see that either right here or when it's in person looking at my album. So I wanted to leave that. Plus, it's just a reminder for me if I'm going to go back, and maybe there's some interesting info on there I could use for journaling. Who knows? So I have that. I did also cut down the receipt. I cut off the barcode at the bottom. Didn't need that. But I did want to keep the date because it shows the time and the date that we turned in our pass to get our tickets. And then I cut a little bit off the top because I figured that will leave me more room to embellish, which I do want to try. So right now I'm wondering if maybe I want some washi up here and then have something, just a phrase or something in between. I'm not sure, but I have to make it match with this. So I'm thinking black because the background is black. There's black right here. You can't go wrong. It matches everything. So I will start with that idea in mind and we'll see what happens. Okay, I found something that I hope is going to work. I'm not quite sure. We'll find out when I actually put it down, but I'm hoping it's going to work. In this sticker book that I have here, it's all about travel. There's a sticker, or there's a page of stickers that are all this sort of shiny coppery color. And I do have some of that in there. The holes here have brown around them, a somewhat similar tone. But then in here, I've kind of got that coppery brown color as well. And I like that it has a little bit of shine too to liven this up, because otherwise this is kind of flat. There's not a lot happening with it. So I'm thinking I might do the things to see between the photo and the receipt up here. Now, because the background is clear, I have no idea how it's actually going to look on paper like this, but I'm willing to give it a try. Guess what? It actually looks pretty good. I didn't want to glue this down until I saw how that looked in case I was going to have to cover it up or try to rip it off or something. But since it works, now I can put this on there and it's tight. I mean, that's pretty tall, so I'll have to go almost to the top. I could still get a strip of thin washi there if I wanted, or I can just leave it as is. But I do like that all three of these items fit nicely. When I went into my washi bin, I found this. I knew I had some copper colored stuff. I just didn't remember exactly how thin it was, how wide it was, whatever. This is a little bit wider than I would like. I was hoping it was thinner, but I'm going to see if it's doable. So I'm just gonna tear off a little piece there and put it on and see what I think. I want to generally center it here. The nice thing about washi is that if I hate it, I can just remove it. I don't hate it, but I almost feel like I need a third thing then. Or maybe this just needs to be smaller. It's pretty long. Maybe I'll tear off a little bit on the sides and see if I like that better. I do like it better with this a little bit shorter. And the piece that I tore off on one end, I actually saved and put it down here. So I did end up with 3 points of having the copper color in there. I would have preferred it more like a triangle, but I feel like this needs to be centered, and that's okay. And then I just have my one little piece right there. So see, sometimes it pays to save those things that you cut off or that you tear off the end of something. I never used to do that, but the last couple months I've started saving it, and I have found little ways to end up using it, which is great. So now I'm just going to pull out the album, drop it in there so you can see how it actually fits and opens once it's in there, and then I think we're done. All right, so here's the album. So I haven't done either side of what is flanking this brochure, but it's going to sit like this. So it will be next to this, which is fine. And then when you flip it, you'll see the back here. Here's the other side. But what I love the most is that you can still fully open it while it's in the album. Somebody can read that, look at it, fold it back up, and it's good to go. So here's another one done for Philly. Thanks for watching.